Gentlemen,
صاحب السمو، معالي السادة الوزراء والسفراء، سيداتي وسادتي.
on behalf of the Aghakan Trust for Culture and its local agency in Egypt, the Aghakan Cultural Services,
نيابة عن مؤسسة الأغاخان للثقافة ووكالتها في مصر، شركة أغاخان للخدمات الثقافية.
I would like to welcome you to this ceremony to inaugurate the restored Aksankor Mosque.
أود أن أرحب بكم في هذا الحفل للاحتفال بالانتهاء من ترميم مسجد أقصنقر.
This monument is the last conservation project completed by the Aghakan Trust for Culture in Al Darb Al Ahmar district.
وبهذا الأثر تنهي مؤسسة أغاخان للثقافة آخر مشاريع الترميم التي نفذتها بمنطقة الضرب الأحمر.
Since 2001, 7 historic buildings, 120 houses, and several public spaces have been rehabilitated in this area.
منذ عام 2001 تم ترميم وإصلاح 7 مباني تاريخية، 120 منزلاً، والعديد من الأماكن العامة في المنطقة.
The Aksankor Mosque was built by Shams al-Din Aksankor in the year 1347.
مسجد أقصنقر أنشأه الأمير شمس الدين أقصنقر في عام 1347.
And was then restored and enhanced by Ibrahim Agha Mustahfazan in the year 1654.
وأعيد ترميمه وتعزيزه بواسطة إبراهيم أغا مستنقفان في عام 1654.
The impressive ensemble of blue tiles that has given the mosque its most popular name date from that period.
وكان لبلاطات القشان الأزرق السبب الرئيسي في الاسم الشائع للمسجد منذ تلك الفترة.
To start the inauguration ceremony, I would like now to call His Excellency, the Minister of Antiquities, to the floor.
ولبدء هذا الحفل أود أن أرحب بمعالي وزير الآثار بأخذ الكلمة.
Your Highness, Prince Karim Agha Khan, Excellencies, Minister, Ambassadors, distinguished guests, it is a great pleasure to me to be with you today for the inauguration of one of the most important mosques from the Mamluk time. This is a result of the good cooperation between the Ministry of Antiquities and the Aghakan Cultural Foundation. This work started 2012, and now we have to found this good work. This mosque of Ak Onsur from Mamluk time was built in 1346, 1347. And in that time, it was a unique mosque from the Mamluk time with several Iwans and Rawaks. This mosque also, after that, had some restoration during the Osman time, especially by the time of Ibrahim Agha, 1651, 1652, and he used the blue faience to cover the wall of the main Iwan of this mosque. For this reason, it's called also the Blue Mosque. I appreciate the good work together with the Aghakan Foundation, with the Governorate of Cairo, to have this good result of the good cooperation. Thank you very much for the good cooperation. Thank you very much for Aghakan Foundation and for the Governorate of Cairo. I hope you will spend nice time in this mosque. Thank you very much.
Your Excellency, the Minister of Antiquities, Your Excellency, the Governor of Cairo, Your Excellencies, Honorable Ministers, Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is an immense pleasure to join all of you once again in this special celebration. The inauguration of the Aksunkur Mosque is an extraordinary moment in its own right. And it also marks the culmination of a larger revitalization that has taken place over many years in historic Cairo. As Muslims, we are invited to protect and enhance the world in which we live during our lifetimes. We are trustees of God's creation, hence the word trust in the name of the agency responsible for this restoration. I remember well when the seeds of our cultural engagement in Cairo were first planted at a seminar more than 30 years ago. You may know about the enormous dumping ground of debris that had developed over the centuries and surrounded one of Cairo's poorest neighborhoods. And you will also know of our effort to create a state-of-the-art green space, the Azhar Park, and how that effort soon extended into a great archaeological adventure, uncovering and restoring some of Cairo's oldest buildings. The 12th century Ayyubid wall, for example, was almost completely covered in debris. We could not even tell how long it was. Today, thanks to the work on site, important remains of the Fatimid and Mamluk walls have been discovered and preserved. The minarets of Khairbek and al-Sultan Shaban, like other landmark structures, were badly compromised. 6 centuries of wear and tear had taken a toll, one that was difficult to reverse, especially given the vast array of heritage sites in Egypt that were competing for scarce resources. Nonetheless, with the approach of a new century, the work of restoration began here in Dar al-Ahmar. And today, thanks to so many of you, we celebrate another important milestone in that stirring story. That story has featured a great many partnerships with the Egyptian government, the Governorate of Cairo, the Supreme Council of Antiquities, the World Monuments Fund and the Social Fund for Development, the Swiss Egyptian Development Fund, the Ford Foundation, and the French Institute of Archaeology and the people of Dar al-Ahmar. It has truly been a team effort, joining a host of local, national, and international players. The restoration of the Aksunkur Mosque was itself executed by a team of 60 to 80 craftsmen and conservators. They had first to remove the temporary supports installed after the 1992 earthquake, and then to implant seismic retrofit measures to protect any future earthquakes. They worked to conserve extensive roofing and facades on the one hand and delicate marble panels and Iznik ceramic files of the other. And if you look at the global map, you will find what a high percentage of the Ummah live in areas of seismic risk. But it is not enough only to conserve an architectural treasure. Restoration projects can also serve as springboards and trampolines for broad social and economic development and poverty reduction. In that process, they can help create both the human constituency needed to sustain a project and the flow needed to maintain it. The Aghaakhan Trust for Culture survives and strives to approach such opportunities through multi-tier, multi-dimensional therapy, drawing on experts not only from fields such as archaeology, conservation, restoration, and engineering, but also from the worlds of finance, tourism, education, sanitation, and public health, among others. The cultural components of such projects are numerous, varied, and much less finite than might other development initiatives. The Trust therefore remains engaged with its projects, as will be the case here in Egypt, for long periods. The result of pooling a wide array of talents is that we can also talk about a wide array of accomplishments. We can begin, of course, by saying that 7 major monuments were restored here in Dar al-Ahmar, and that 3 public open spaces were created. We can take pride in the 17 million visitors that have already come to the Azhar Park. We can talk about how 1,000 people were employed directly in this work, while another 1,600 were assisted in finding other long-term jobs. We can talk of 175 craftsmen who were trained in restoration skills, while another 2,000 people finished other forms of technical and vocational training. The overall impact of the quality of life in this community has been palpable. Disposable family income in Dar al-Ahmar, for example, increased by 27% between 2003 and 2009, 1/3 faster in the whole of Old Cairo. Literacy rates climbed by 1/4, and the impact will continue to ripple out beyond this community. For example, hundreds of young Egyptians have been trained in restoration by some of the world's best experts, and they have gone on to create autonomous teams which can take on restoration projects anywhere in Egypt. Let me also underscore another central motivation for this work. Through revitalization of the sort we celebrate today, we hope to preserve an extraordinary panorama of Islamic history from the Fatimid caliphs to the present. At a time, not my fault, at a time when fractures in the unity of the Ummah are so highly visible, I see such projects as particularly hopeful. They are important symbols for the identity of all Muslims, sources of pride for the entire Ummah. And finally, I would like you to know that a young Muslim walking here in the 22nd century will be able to feel the pull of his or her own history, even in a radically transformed world. And let us be reminded, too, that in undertaking this work, we are not only attending to our own Islamic heritage, but also preserving an essential part of the patrimony of all humankind. I can say to you today that the potential power of Islamic cultures is such that the Ummah is capable of achieving global recognition for its amazing heritage and unique spaces and buildings. Thank you.
مستر شريف.
معالي السيد محافظ القاهرة،
تعالى انا دي عايز اديك حاجه.
وعد.
بعد ما نخلص ندهله ونقول له انا عايز اكس والرئيس
والميكروفون حضرتك قربت الميكروفون عالي كويس.
بس الناس دول مش سامعين، هنا سامعين، هنا سامعين، هنا مش سامعين.
طب ممكن تلوحوا لنا سماعه كده؟
عشان هتعمل صوت؟ لا حضرتك ادي بس.
لا تلوحوها عشان دول انا هناك ما كنتش سامع.
هو كان الصوت بس بعيد عن الموبايل.
انا هناك كنتش سامع. يعني الناس اللي قاعدين هناك مش سامعين. يلا. مش هقرا منها دي، اقرا عربي ولا انجليزي انا؟ خلص ولا لا؟ خلص؟ لا كنت مسمعها انا. الرحمن الرحيم. His Highness Prince Karim Aghakan, ministers, ambassadors, ladies and gentlemen, people of the press, gets me a great pleasure to be with you here tonight. First of all, I would like to extend very warm thanks to Aghakan Foundation and to Prince Karim Aghakan on behalf of the Prime Minister, Engineer Ibrahim Mahlib, and also on behalf of myself and the people of Cairo. And I was asked only a few minutes ago to say this in particular on behalf of the people of this area, Dar Brahmar. Here we stand in a very, very special place, Old Cairo, Islamic Cairo, and we witnessed together the completion of a very important project, the Blue Mosque, part of a number of projects that have been funded and undertaken by Aghakan Foundation in Cairo. It's not only this project, but a number of projects surrounding this area, and also the Adhar Park, which actually shows how much cooperation, how much when people try to preserve and keep values of important sites like this and the entire area, with good faith, they succeed and come up with something as marvelous as this place where we are in. So, I don't want to take longer time, but I want to again re-emphasize my the thanks of the people of this area, of Cairo, and of the Egyptian people for the cooperation and support we have been given by the Aghakan Group and by His Highness Prince Karim Aghakan. In particular, we have talked earlier today when we had a chance to meet with the Prime Minister. We have talked earlier today about future cooperation, future projects that we'd like to do, and I think people of this area and people of Cairo will witness more and more projects that will be done in this area, and that will enhance let's say, what is the right word? Will enhance the quality of life, and will also show how much as I said earlier, how much cooperation, how much work could be done when everybody works in good faith, to help people of this area and help people of Cairo. So once again, thank you very much, and we'll keep working and producing good projects for the benefit of people of Cairo. Thank you very much. And on this occasion, Your Highness, I want to present to you something in memory of this occasion from the people of Cairo.
This is Sultan Barkut Mosque. This is actually the first piece that we have given out of this one. Maybe it will be the only piece. So that will say all that we haven't given this only to Prince Karim Aghakhan.
Thank you so much. I'm very, very grateful.
What's your step, huh?